You felt it, a presence lingering in the background of your soul. Not haunting, but humming. A name, a memory, a sensation you thought would pass. But it never did. Because you were never meant to forget. The angels say, this person couldn't let you go, because your soul was woven into theirs by divine intention. Before time etched names into your mouths, before life gave you faces and routines, you made a sacred agreement. To meet again. To awaken something holy within each other. He tried to forget. You tried to move on. But the love didn't dissolve, it transformed. The angels whisper, even when he turned away, he carried your essence in the quiet of his breath. He walks with questions now, ones he didn't know how to ask before. Why can't I feel at peace around anyone else? Why does her absence echo louder than any presence? Because, dear soul, you were never just someone who passed through his life. You were the light that revealed the shadows he hid, the prayer he didn't know he was making. And now, heaven is answering. The angels are guiding him back to you, not through grand gestures, but through moments of clarity. A dream. A song. A sudden wave of missing you so strongly it buckles his knees. He's being led, slowly, gently, toward truth. Not to repeat the past, but to redeem it. For we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared beforehand, that we should walk in them. Ephesians 2 verse 10. He didn't mean to hurt you. But he did. And not with cruelty, but with absence. With silence. With that heavy pause between your question and his non-answer. You asked for honesty. He gave you hesitation. Because the walls around his heart weren't built for you, they were built long before you. Brick by brick, made of disappointments no one ever helped him carry. You just happened to arrive when they were tall and trembling. The angels say, he's not avoiding your love, he's afraid of what it might dismantle. You see, your presence has always asked more of him than he was ready to give. Not demands, but invitations, to feel deeper. To stay when it's easier to leave. To be seen without the masks. He's not indifferent. He's terrified. Terrified that if he lets you in, he'll have to admit how much he's longed for exactly this kind of love, and how unworthy he's convinced himself he is to receive it. There's nothing wrong with you. Nothing lacking. Your love didn't scare him because it was flawed. It scared him because it was pure. And the purest things always stir what's been hidden too long. The angels remind you, you were not too much. You were the mirror. And what he saw was his own reflection, unprepared, unhealed, and unraveling. He needs time. Not to forget you, but to find the strength to meet you where your soul has always waited. You've waited, prayed, held space for him in the sacred chambers of your heart. But now the angels turn their gaze toward you. Because while he is learning how to feel, you must remember how to live. The angels whisper, your light was never meant to burn out in someone else's shadow. You have given enough to be exhausted. Enough to forget your own softness in the process. Enough to confuse sacrifice with love. But real love does not ask you to disappear. It does not bloom in the soil of self-abandonment. So breathe. Look in the mirror. See the woman who has held the world together with tenderness and tenacity. You are not here to be the cure for someone else's chaos. You are here to be the temple, untouched, radiant, whole. He may find his way. Or not. But your path must never fold itself around someone else's delay. The angels say, return to your rituals. To silence. To joy. To skin warmed by sunlight and laughter not dependent on anyone's reply. This chapter is not about losing love. It's about remembering the love that never left, your own. Let your heart be full, even if your hands are empty for now. Because you are not waiting. You are preparing. And when he returns, if he returns, let it be to a woman who no longer forgets herself in the name of devotion. You think he pulled away because he didn't care. But the truth is far more fragile. He saw himself in your eyes, and didn't recognize who he was becoming. The angels reveal, your love didn't just embrace him. It revealed him. You brought light into places he'd buried in shadow. And that kind of illumination? It's not always comforting. To be fully seen, without armor, without pretense, is terrifying when you've built your identity on invisibility. You didn't just mirror his beauty. You mirrored his ache, his fears, the parts of himself he's tried to outrun. He looked at you and saw a future he didn't feel ready for, a depth of feeling he couldn't explain, and a love so unconditional, it exposed every condition he'd placed on himself. That's why he paused. Not because you were wrong, but because you were real. And nothing in his past prepared him for something so honest. The angels say, you became his reflection, not just his desire. And that is the sacred paradox. He pulled away, not to reject you, but to understand who he was becoming through your presence. So if he's quiet now, let it be. Because the mirror is still working. And some truths are only revealed in solitude. You didn't break him. You broke the illusion. He doesn't say much. But something's shifting. You felt it in the spaces between words, a gentler silence, a softer energy, a presence that lingers just a little longer. The angels say, he is beginning to hear the voice of his own heart, and it sounds like your name. Awakening rarely comes with thunder. It arrives in subtle waves, a remembered dream, a sudden tear he can't explain, an ache when he hears your favorite song. Something inside him is stirring, not out of logic or fear, but recognition. You are no longer just a possibility. You are a magnet. A calling he no longer wants to resist. The pain he once suppressed? Now it bleeds with meaning. The questions he avoided? Now they demand answers. He's starting to wonder if love was never meant to be safe, but sacred. If maybe the life he planned isn't the life that will truly set him free. And you, beloved soul, were the spark. The one who walked in light and made him believe there might be more than just survival. The angels are gently guiding his awakening, not to rush, not to chase, but to feel. To everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Ecclesiastes 3 verse 1. You feel it, don't you? That rhythm. The one where he leans in, then disappears. The angels call it a soul spiral. Not rejection. Not indifference. But resistance to what his heart already knows. He wants you. But wanting means surrender. And surrender means risk. The angels say, he keeps leaving, because each return cracks him open a little more. This isn't a straight path. It's circular. Like tides drawn by moons he doesn't understand. Every time he comes back, it's not by accident. It's because something in him remembers. Remembers how your presence softened the hard edges of his silence. How your love didn't demand, but revealed. And yet, as soon as he touches that closeness, fear screams, this is too much. You're not enough. She'll leave. Don't need. So he runs. Again. But even in the running, he carries you. And that's why he returns. Because love doesn't dissolve through distance. It deepens. And every cycle brings him closer to the center of his own truth. Let him spin. Let the spiral turn. Because the angels are mid-motion, and this story isn't finished. You are not the chaser. You are the gravity. There is a kind of love that doesn't shout. It doesn't chase or beg. It simply radiates, quietly, constantly, like light through a closed window. This is the love you offered him. Not as a cure, but as a mirror of what healing could feel like. The angels say, he didn't fall in love with your perfection. He fell in love with how safe he felt inside your silence. He didn't tell you, but your love stitched up places inside him he thought would never stop bleeding. You didn't fix him. You reminded him he wasn't broken beyond repair. And that was everything. The way you listened when he had no words. The way your presence didn't flinch at his darkness. The way you kept shining, even when he couldn't match your light. That was the medicine. He didn't understand it at first. Healing rarely announces itself. But now, he feels it. In his body. In his chest. In the places where numbness used to live. He doesn't know how to explain it, only that he feels different when he thinks of you. Lighter. Real. The angels remind you, love like yours doesn't beg to be seen. It transforms by simply being. And that transformation is already happening. Even if he hasn't found the words yet. It may not make sense yet. The delays. The distance. The divine pauses that stretch too long to feel accidental. But the angels are clear, this is not a detour. It is design. They say, there is a timing higher than your understanding, one that aligns hearts through surrender, not urgency. He is not late. You are not behind. Both of you are being held in a space where heaven rearranges the invisible so that when the moment comes, it will not feel forced. It will feel fated. You may feel forgotten at times, overlooked by love. But the truth is, you've been hidden for protection, preserved for alignment. The angels have not abandoned this connection. They are guiding it. One whisper, one softened heart, one divine coincidence at a time. You are being led, not to an ending, but to a convergence. Trust the silence. It is not empty. It is sacred ground where destinies realign. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. Jeremiah 29 verse 11. He seems composed. But underneath the calm, there is a soul trembling. He wants to love you. But love to him means danger. Exposure. The kind of nakedness no body can cover. The angels say, he aches to be known, but fears that if he's truly seen, he'll be left. He's been told that vulnerability is weakness. That silence is strength. That emotions are indulgences he cannot afford. And yet, when he's near you, something in him softens. He wants to tell you everything. But words fail. So he stays quiet, hoping you'll hear the storm beneath the stillness. You do. Because your soul is fluent in what isn't spoken. He doesn't know how to come undone safely. So he retreats. Not because you asked too much, but because you saw too deeply. The angels ask, can you love him here, not in his becoming, but in his trembling? Because this is the moment before the miracle. The inhale before the surrender. And he is so close. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. Psalm 34 verse 18. Not every story ends with certainty. But every soul deserves peace. The angels come now with open hands, offering you not answers, but stillness. Stillness to trust. To breathe again. To let go, not of the love, but of the weight. He may come. He may not. But your worth never depended on his arrival. You loved. Fully. Bravely. And that love became a river, not to drown in, but to wash you clean. The angels say, release the outcome. Keep the essence. What you shared was real. What you gave was holy. And what remains now is yours to cherish, not to chase. Your heart is not on hold. It is evolving. Becoming wiser, deeper, gentler, ready to receive what will never ask you to shrink to fit. If he returns, let it be not because you waited, but because you bloomed. If he doesn't, let your own becoming be your reward. Because love like yours never goes unnoticed by the divine. It resonates through eternity. And the angels have taken note of every moment. Now rest, beloved soul. What's meant for you has always known the way.